Welcome to this manifestation chat today. My name is Sage Gwendolyn, and I am a success coach, mindset coach, spiritual mentor, and I help multidimensional light workers heal and achieve their dreams. So today we're going to be talking about how to align our frequency with our manifestations and create energetic space to receive them. And so we are going to be talking about the principles of manifesting, which are imagination, demonstration, and surrender. So in order to manifest something, you have to be able to imagine yourself there. Like, you have to be able to viscerally feel that in your heart space, in your mind, before it will actualize in your outer reality. That is you becoming a vibrational frequency match. And I know that gets thrown around a lot and people are like, what the heck does that mean? Okay, or how do you do that? So when we're talking about manifesting with whatever it is, whether you want to bring in more money, whether you want to get your dream home or your dream car, you want your dream career, you want to be a CEO boss babe, it's not actually about the physical manifestations. It's more so about the emotions that thing is going to bring you. Okay. Sometimes we get really stressed and anxious when we're thinking about the things that we're trying to pull in, because we're like, how and what and when and all these things, and trying to figure out all the steps. But if you can experience those emotions in the here and now and not so much worry about the actual materialized thing, those things will naturally come to you, or you'll get the inspired action downloads that you need to take, or the universe will just naturally align like people and experiences in your outer reality that will help you shift into that life. You, in your heart, know what your desires are, like in your soul. Your higher self knows, source knows. I mean, you are source, you are the universe, right? So sometimes we get a little obsessive and like, okay, well, if I don't keep ruminating about it, then maybe the universe is going to forget. Has anybody ever had that thought before, or that feeling? Like, I got to keep putting my order in, otherwise it's not going to come to me. Okay. So if you are feeling the emotions that are underneath those manifestations and not worrying so much about the 3D thing, the universe is going to bring you a whole other assortment of things that you didn't even ask for, because now you're resonating on that frequency and you're open to manifesting a lot more things that also give you that. Like, you're a magnet. Like a magnet for joy and all the things that bring you joy. Because sometimes the consciousness that you're sitting in right now, you don't know what your life is going to look like 15 or 20 years from now. Like, you think you do, okay? Or you think you know the things that you want to manifest, but what if they're so much bigger than that? Like, sometimes I'll be working with clients and they'll be like, if I could just make $50,000 a year, I would be happy. One, we got to be happy now in order to pull that in, right? But what if you in the future are making $500,000 a year, but you're like capping yourself off, right? So more so getting in those emotional states that you need to be in so that you can be a match for whatever brings you that emotion, right? In amplified ways. So when you are imagining things, it's literally like feeling like you are there. Like you're in your car, like you have your hands on the steering wheel. Where are you driving to? Okay. What drink do you have next to you? Okay. Like, if you're in your dream home, what does your furniture look like? What does it feel to sit on your couch in your dream home? How does it feel to be in your backyard? Is it you and your kids like out there playing? What games are you playing together? Okay. Like, it's getting very tangible with these things. Or the money in your bank account. Okay, so get in your imagination and imagine that you're going to the bank and you're talking to the teller and you're pulling out XYZ amount of money, right? How does that feel? What are you doing with that money that day? Like, let's say that you have $100,000 in the bank and you go to the bank and you pull out $5,000. What are you going to do with that $5,000? How is that going to make you feel, right? It's like making it as real as you possibly can. Because what you're doing is you're finding the energetic coordinates within yourself. Like, you're finding the frequency that it would feel like to have those things, but you're actually experiencing it in present real time. when you hit that level of emotion. Okay, like I'll do this sometimes. I'll just be, and I'm going to share a story with y'all. I'll be bawling my eyes out, just so grateful and thankful that I brought those things in, because in that moment I actually am that person. And the more that you do that, the stronger that frequency gets within you, and the quicker you pull those things in, because all of a sudden now you are that person. You are literally changing your internal being. Like if you are going from a lot of lack and scarcity, like with money, let's say, right? You can't be that person in order to have $1 million in your bank account. That frequency of this person is completely different from that person. How do you get there? Okay, you have to feel that in the here and now, and we're going to talk about some different ways to do that, okay? But you have to feel that in the here and now, even if it's just for 15 minutes, okay? Because what happens is you start to get used to that frequency, and then it starts to become your dominant vibration. And now you're just feeling it all the time, and now you have the $1 million in the bank because you incrementally taught your body, this is our new state of being. Does that make sense? Drink some water here. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know how I would feel with those things because I don't have them. That doesn't matter. Okay? Ask yourself, I want you to think right now, what is something that you are currently manifesting? If you want to share it in the chat, you can, or just in your mind space, or you can share it in the comments here on YouTube. What is something you're currently manifesting? A relationship, car, whatever, home, traveling all over the world. Okay, how would it make you feel? Would it make you feel peace, joy, happiness, magical, whimsy, free? What is already bringing you that in your life? Like, is that you drinking a cup of coffee, listening to birds in the morning, playing with your kids, taking a nice salt bath? Is it you watching the sunset, you going to surf, like whatever that is for you that already brings you that feeling? You know what that feels like. And so when you sit down to get in your imagination with your manifestations, sometimes it's hard to jump from like not having it, okay, to feeling that emotion. So what we can do is kind of like a bypass shortcut is what I call pockets of emotions. And this is where you take something else in your life where you're already experiencing this and think about that first. Think about all those things that I just mentioned and sit with it for a second. How does it make you feel? Those memories, pull up memories with your kids, memories with your parents, memories going on vacation, whatever brings you those feelings. And when you feel that frequency shift inside and you're like, wow, I do feel really great. I'm really grateful and thankful that I was able to experience that, or I am currently experiencing it, right? You're going to feel your vibration and frequency lift. Okay? And then we're going to say, this is what my manifestation feels like. Okay, now we're going to get in our imagination. Instead of entering our imagination with fear and anxiety, because that's just going to give you more of that, we're going to enter it already feeling good. Okay, you're also telling the universe in doing that, you're so grateful and thankful for the abundance that you already have, and acknowledging that. Because if we're not acknowledging that, then you're in a abundance of lack. Right? So going in this route will help you get in that frequency you need to be in to manifest. Okay. You can also do this all throughout your day. Like anytime, like I'm looking at the TV right now and it's got all these birds like drinking out of this fountain, and that makes me feel very at peace and also joyful because I really like birds chirping. So what I would do if I saw this out in my outer reality, which this is my outer reality, but like out and about, I was like, wow, that makes me really happy. I would sit there for a second. I'd be like, this is so great. I love this. What a joy. I was like, this is what my manifestation feels like. Because what you're doing then is you are healing your central nervous system, and you are reprogramming your subconscious saying, hey, our manifestations aren't scary. Because a lot of us like don't have our manifestations because we're actually repelling them away from us because we have stress and anxiety attached to them. And what you place your energy and attention on is what you get more of. Okay, so we have to re-encode and reset the energetic foundations under our manifestations. Is that making sense? So all throughout your day, when anything makes you happy and joyful, tell the universe, this is what my manifestations feel like. Okay, so does anybody have a difficult time imagining? Let me know in the comments. So again, finding the energetic coordinates. The next one is demonstrating. Demonstration is about taking inspired action steps every day. Okay, and inspired action steps can look very different for everybody. Okay, that can be you working out or stretching or doing yoga to get stress hormones out of your body or anxiety out of your body. That could be you doing journaling. That could be you getting in your imagination. That could be you watching YouTube videos about whatever you're trying to bring into fruition. Okay, that could be you looking at videos of people that already have the things that you want, so that you can see that it's actually in your realm of capabilities of doing, right? Oftentimes when I'm working with clients, I'm like, hey, what are we doing towards our manifestations? And sometimes they're like, well, I sit and imagine it every day, right? You still have to take inspired action steps. Like sometimes it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to think my way there. You got to also take steps to do it. Like I built 2 businesses and I couldn't just sit on my couch and imagine myself there, right? Like I have to take inspired action steps. Also get in my imagination, right? And becoming the emotional frequency match and becoming the person that owned 2 businesses, right? But I also have to take steps and meet the universe halfway. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, Lindsay, hey. That's what we're going to do with this personifying our higher self activity. Okay. So, and surrender. Surrender is knowing that you are capable of your manifestations. The only reason that you desire something is because there is a version of you out there in the etheric field, the quantum field, that already has it in the future. It's already done. You are perceiving into a future timeline. Oh, thank y'all for sharing the live. You're perceiving your quantum twin out there. They are the ones that are giving you downloads and inspired action ideas and the pings and the intuitive nudges. Some people call it your higher self. Some people call it your guides, your quantum twin. It's you in the future. Now, whether you decide to follow those steps and listen is up to you, because you have free will. You have free will in every moment. So you can be like, nope, not going to do any of that. And then those things don't come into fruition. But there is a version of you out there that has all those things. And it is constantly trying to get your attention. That's what signs and synchronicities are. It's like, hey, that's why sometimes your signs and synchronicities kind of like slow down and you don't see them as much, is because we're not listening to what our intuition is trying to tell us. Signs and synchronicities are a way for that version of you out there to tell you that you're headed in the right direction and you're in flow state. It also really is about being present moment too. Signs and synchronicities, like if you're like very much in your mental and like so wrapped up in the past or the future and you're not being like present, it's hard to see those things. Also, fear and anxiety can block those things up too, because your imagination and creativity go the first thing to go out the window when you're experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety. Okay, oh, thank y'all for sharing the live. Okay, but the reason this is so helpful, I struggle with action steps. Yeah, we're going to talk about how to get them action steps in. Okay, because sometimes, you know, it's like I don't know what steps to take. Something that has really helped me with manifesting all the things that I have manifested, and I have manifested everything I wanted as a child. Like, we're on to our next chapter of manifestations now. Okay, is to ask myself, what can I do today for 10 minutes that will help me make forward movement towards my dreams. Sometimes that's literally just watching a YouTube video or reading a book or exercising or doing some journaling, right? Like anything forward movement is forward movement. Okay. Like you can achieve anything if you have that mindset. If you just say, what can I do today? Because when we're looking at a giant manifestation, it's very overwhelming sometimes. And you're like, I don't even know where to get started. Well, what can you just do today? That is literally how I have built 2 businesses. What can I do today? Okay. And then it just starts snowballing and you start making so much more forward movement and start making these bigger quantum jumps and bigger quantum leaps and taking bigger inspired action steps, because you're also proving to yourself that you are capable and that you are successful. I did not overnight become a very focused and motivated person. I used to not be at all. I had to train myself in my mind to be that type of person over time. Consistent action, consistent internal shifts, consistent subconscious mindset reprogram, like every single day. I do these things, okay? And my days look different from one another depending on, what I'm focusing on and what I'm trying to do. But I am on it every single day because I made a commitment to invest in myself and my dreams. I was like, these are my dreams. And they weren't even dreams. Like I knew they were going to happen ever since I was a child. I was like, I'm making a commitment that this is going to happen. I do not know how. I do not know when. I just know that it's going to. I'm a dragon, pure, born leader. Oh, awesome, Jay. That's cool. Love working with the dragons. Okay, so you got to make an investment in yourself, and those limiting beliefs that tell you you're not enough, or that imposter syndrome that gets to you, or like, I don't know if I can or not, like that needs to go. It needs to be, I don't know how, but I will do it. Right? Because again, the only reason that you have a desire is because it is in your realm of capability of doing and achieving. But those limiting beliefs and that imposter syndrome and those childhood wounds that we live through tell us otherwise. That's not you at the core. Babies are not born with self-limiting beliefs. They're not born with these filter lenses that tell us that we're not enough, or, we're not smart enough, we're too old, we're too young, all that stuff. Like, you are a multidimensional being of light. You are source. You are a creator. But we come to this earth game and then we forget. Okay? You forget who you actually are deep down inside, behind all that stuff. That's why I do what I do, is to help reignite that within you and be like, actually, this is who you are. This is what you're actually capable of. You actually create your reality around you. Okay? And you can create a negative reality or you can create a positive reality depending on what perceptual lenses that you are looking through. And that's what I do for people, is I help remove those perceive lenses that you are looking at your life through. Thank you about my hair. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all a couple different stories about some things that I have manifested. And then we're going to talk about self-limiting beliefs and how to reprogram your subconscious. And then we're going to do the higher self personification. Okay. All ears. Okay. So the other day, I have my spiritual coaching practice business, if you will. And I was like, you know what? I've been feeling a little stuck and stagnant just because I can't keep doing the same things over and over again. Let me know if that's anybody else in here. I'm neurospicy and I get bored very easily. And I'm like constantly reinventing self and reinventing my business, and we're just always doing different things. But that's energizing to me. Okay. Like, I need new life. I gotta have new creations going all the time. Otherwise, like change is evolving as well. right? Like, I'm not going to keep on teaching the same stuff over and over and over again. I'm not going to keep offering the same programs over and over and over again. Like, we got to keep it moving, okay? Because I'm not growing if I'm doing that, and my community and my clients are not growing either. So we're just always, which sometimes that can be very frustrating though, because it feels like I'm just always starting over all the time, and not starting over, but like starting something new. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. Yes, I feel stuck too, to be honest. Stuck is actually a great place to be. And I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but sometimes you have to like get sick of your own stuff to make the biggest amount of movement. Like if you are stuck, sometimes that is like your launching point to an incredible new life. It's like, okay, this is it. Okay, because you can be in comfortability for so long, and then all of a sudden you hit stuck and you're like, oh, this ain't it. And sometimes that is what will kick your butt in gear. Okay. Feel lost and like, I don't know what I want right now in life. Yeah, sometimes we're in like a reassessment period too. Like what you thought that you wanted. That was me. Like when I was going to school for clinical psychology, I was going to be a clinical psychologist. All of a sudden that wasn't resonating anymore. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? I didn't know. I thought that was the only way that I could help people. I was stuck. But I was like, you know what? We need new energy. I'm just going to go do some other stuff until I figure out what that is. And then I became like a cosmic psychologist. Okay, the energy healer, spiritual coach. So we made a big pivot, but there was like a long stretch where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, right? And that's okay. Sometimes you don't need to know like right this second. That's all right. Just as long as we're making forward movement towards evolution and growth. Like even though we're stuck and we don't know what to do, there's a million different things that you can do to better yourself and better your mind and your spirit, your emotions. Like sometimes you need to clear stuck and stagnant energy within you, like in your 4 energy bodies, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, for you to open up to receive downloads of what you need to be doing or what you want to be doing or where you're headed, right? To clear the space so you can see your timelines better. Things are better. I'm working at Walmart again, which is great, but I don't know if I want it. Yeah, sometimes we're just like in an assessment period. Okay, so speaking of that, okay, so back to what I was saying before. So I was like, okay, we need to do something new. Okay. I said, what would somebody do, or what would I do, future me, right now, to receive a new idea or a new download? Because that's what I wanted. I was like, I want a new idea for my business. And I said, higher self me, a year from now, she would go do a dance workout. Because I was experiencing a lot of anxiety because I was trying to like formulate a new idea and it wasn't coming through, and I was like very frustrated, and that is not a place to take inspired action from. Because it is, when you are like, if you're creating something, whether it's like an art project or something at, your work or, your business or whatever, if you're taking inspired action steps from fear and scarcity and lack, that's the type of energy that you are molding into it, right? So you have to come in with the right energy when you're doing those things, because you are energetically setting like the life that is brought into that, right? What kind of business do you have? That's cool. I am a spiritual mentor and a success coach. So I help people achieve their dreams and heal all these things. Okay. Oh, thank you all for the gifts. I appreciate that. And then I owned a doggy daycare for 7 years before this. Okay. Positive thoughts. Can't be scared or think negative. Yeah, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, about the negative thoughts. Okay. So I said I would work out first. So I did a dance workout, and then I said, okay, what do I need to do now? And I said, I need to stretch. Because when I stretch, it's like an active meditation, and like I'm moving my body, but I can get in my mind space, like in the quantum field, right? And in my Akasha realm. Hey love, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, hey Nicole, hey, how are you doing? How's the baby? So I can't see your picture. I think, oh no, different Nicole. I'm sorry. The little pictures on here are so small on my phone. Okay. So I said, I need to get into my Akasha field, so I'm going to stretch. And so I did some stretching, and I was listening to affirmations while I was doing that, like business affirmations, like I'm successful, I'm getting clients every day, like all this stuff. Oh, it is you. Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay. I couldn't tell. I'm glad Violet is doing well. I thought it was you. Okay. Excuse me. And so when I was in that meditative state, listening to those affirmations, that the higher self of me came in, and she was like, you should do a EFT chakra balancing challenge. Like where you take people from their earth star chakra all the way to their crown chakra and help them release stuck and stagnant energy so that they can create energetic space for their manifestations and also balance their chakras at the same time. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I was like, yeah. And that brought me like a lot of excitement and joy. And I was like, I am so excited to teach people about EFT tapping because it's so kind of like newer to a lot of people. And it just feels really great when your chakras are balanced. Okay, because it's like the energy can flow through you, and it also helps with subconscious mindset reprogram. I was like, this is like a whole package thing for all the different energies, right? And I was like, that's gonna be a lot of steps. It took me 4 or 5 days to put that together. And if y'all want to sign up for it, it's free. And you can go to my profile, or you can look down here in the YouTube description. But it's all together. Hey, I absolutely love EFT. Yes, EFT is great for moving energy. Y'all, I didn't realize putting that together. We're going to get off on a little sidebar. I didn't realize putting that together. I had to make the videos, okay, all the videos, and then I had to watch them back over and over and over again because I was editing them and adding music, and I did it. I recorded all of them in like one day, and I didn't realize like what that was gonna do to me because it helps move all this energy, right, and balance things. But it wiped me out. Like it works. Okay, like it works. I was crying my eyes out. I'm not saying that y'all will be crying your eyes out, but because I had done them over and over and listened to them over and over again, it was basically like blasting me with chakra stuff and EFT stuff. But it was great. I felt so much better afterwards. It was just, I didn't think about that beforehand. That's okay. I know for the next time, maybe we need to split it up over a couple days. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all for the gifts. I appreciate it. Okay, so instead of sometimes when you are we're gonna make a side note, okay? So when you are trying to manifest money, okay, especially for people that like passive income and stuff like that, instead of trying to manifest money all the time, why don't you try and manifest new ideas or manifest new creative, innovative ways of thinking? Because that's a whole nother level to manifesting. Because that, like, I downloaded that EFT thing, or I downloaded all the steps I needed for my money masterclass, or my inner child, or all the workshops and lives that I do. I'm constantly asking the universe, I am open to receiving new, innovative, creative ideas, right? That can be for your business, that can be for your life, okay? Different perceptual lenses to look through, different ways to handle trauma or healing. Like, I want to manifest new, innovative, and creative ideas. Has anybody ever asked for that before? You should try it. It is great. It really helps you move a lot of stuck and stagnant energy. I love that. Manifest ways to make money. Yeah, and not even just with money. It can be with money, but it can also be just you in life. Like looking at things in different ways and having higher consciousness, right? Because just get a little esoteric right now, okay? So you have all the, like, if you believe in reincarnation, you have all these different versions of yourself out there in the ethers, in your Akashic records, okay? All of those incarnations have different experiences and perceptual lenses and different wisdom and different skills and talents. You can also download things from them, but you have to ask. Like, oh, hey, is there anybody out there that could give me wisdom and guidance on blank? On manifesting my car, dream life, feeling better in my body, having a healthy body, like whatever it is. You can also ask them. Okay? You can download ideas and concepts and wisdom and knowledge from your Akasha fields from your other incarnations. And they all have higher selves. Okay, so, oh, hello, hey, Shelly, asking myself. Okay, yeah, just ask, are there any different versions of myself that can give me new, innovative, creative ideas or help me see this certain thing in my life in a different perceptual lens, right? You would be surprised. That's you accessing your own Akashic records. I have gotten some real nuggets of wisdom from other versions of myself that I would not have thought of myself, because it's like looking through somebody else's eyeballs and picking their brain, if you will. Okay. All right. So that was one. I also manifested free plane tickets the other day, which is super fun and exciting. So I am taking my son to Wisconsin. And it's the water park capital of the United States. There's like 10 water parks there. And I was like, okay, this is something that I want to manifest. This is something I want to bring in. So I went to Barnes & Noble. And before I went to Barnes & Noble, I got in my imagination. And I said, I'm going to really envision that we are there. Like already there. And we were like on the rides. And there was like water splashing all over us. And I just envisioned like all the different places that we would go and just like having a great time, telling my son to stop splashing me, you know, because he loves to do that. Just like really making it viscerally real in my imagination. I went to Barnes & Noble afterwards, and because I like doing my work there. And I said, I'm going to plan out everything in this trip. I'm going to look at plane tickets. I'm going to figure out what water park hotel we're staying at, how to get from the airport to the water park hotel. I'm going to plan all the restaurants. I'm going to plan all the other things that we go. There's like a wizard quest thing there. Like there's a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? It's like theme park city. Anyway, I planned the entire thing out, and I said, okay, universe, I want you to bring this to me. I've done my inspired action steps in getting in my imagination and matching up with that emotionally. I also planned it out, and I also know that I am capable of bringing this into my reality, okay, with ease and grace. It's gonna be super duper easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? The next day, I told, like 24 hours, okay, less than 24 hours, I told somebody I know that I'm going to Wisconsin. I was going to say Michigan. Wisconsin. And they said, oh, I have all these Delta airplane miles built up on my credit card. Do you want to use them? And I was like, yes, that would be wonderful. And it's going to pay for the plane tickets. And I was like, dang, that worked very fast. That was like $1,200 worth of plane tickets. And I did not have to work hard for that. I got the intuitive ping subconsciously to talk to that person and tell them that. And then they, because we're a frequency match, said, oh, you can use this. Like, how awesome is that? I was very excited. I was like, yes. You got to believe. You got to, like we said, we got to do our imagination, demonstration, and surrendering, knowing that you were capable of these things. Yes, I'm very excited. It was great. And every time I manifest something like that, it's another anchor point in my consciousness about, like, yeah, I actually am the creator of my reality. Like, I am a extremely powerful manifestor. Right? Oh, hey, Kate. Hey, good to see you. Every time you manifest something like that, it's something that you can always go back to. It's something that's like, whoa, that was wild. Okay, we're going to take a pause for just a second so I can run to the restroom because I'll be drinking this water. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes. And then we're going to talk about quantum shifting. Okay, so I'll be right back. Diaper, hashtag mom duties. Love it. Okay, So quantum manifesting, quantum shifting. Okay, so every time that I have reached a new financial bracket and bringing more money in, I still have limiting beliefs come up. I still have fears and anxiety. Like, that is something that runs very deep within our programming and as a society and collective, and it is shown in social media all the time. And a lot of us have like very deep money wounds from like inner child, or not inner child, but from childhood that affects your inner children, right? And so like, I am reading a book right now, and this lady went from like nothing in her life to making like $30 million a year in her coaching business. And she was like, every day I have limiting beliefs come up. Okay, it's not something that just like goes away. Like, they might change and evolve, and it's a lot easier for me now to catch those and to shift them and to change them because I've been doing it for so long and she's been doing it for so long, but they're still there. Okay, like, it doesn't matter how much more money I'm making. Like, they are still there because that's how like programming and conditioning and things like that work. Okay, but it does get a lot easier because now I just have those thoughts and I'm like, nope, not aligned with that. Nope, not aligned with that. Let's interject, right? It's more about learning the processes of becoming the observer and knowing that you are not your thoughts and that you don't have to align with them, and you can tell them to get in the passenger seat, but they're still there. Okay. What's the name of the book? It's Rich AF. Rich AF. I'm not gonna say the other word on TikTok, but Rich AF. You would love her, Justin. You would love her. She has got great energy, and she's like blends psychology with spirituality, esoteric. She talked about money specifically. It's great. It has really helped me like expand. I listen to it on Audible book, and so that way when I'm getting ready in the morning, I listen to it for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then just keep doing that every day. So that way it's like bite-sized and easier to digest. It's very inspiring. This lady on it. She is teaching, she's a multi-millionaire teaching women how to become millionaires, or just people. It's really geared towards like females, if that makes sense, but like it doesn't have to be, but that languaging, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, okay. So back to what I was saying. Yesterday I woke up and started feeling fear and anxiety. When you first wake up in the morning is when your cortisol is like the highest. Like sometimes you just be in fight or flight. Has anybody experienced that before? You're just like panicking when you wake up, especially if you have dealt with a lot of anxiety in the past. Okay, so started waking up and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing it. We are not doing that today. I was like, I am not starting my day off like that. Okay, when I said that, instead of being the fear and anxiety, and this is what I mean, this is what I teach people how to do, is become the observer, okay, of this stuff. This is Daisy back here, by the way. Say hi, Daisy. Okay. So as soon as I said that, like, no, we're not doing that. Now I am the higher self. Now I am the multidimensional being looking at human Sage over here and saying like, girl, we're not doing that today. Okay. And so I went into myself, into my Akasha field, into my imagination. Okay. And I said, okay, ego. Daisy, don't eat your feet. I said, okay, ego, because that's what was coming up. It was like past narratives, past experiences, past wounds, all telling me like, oh, you know, all this stuff, bad stuff is going to happen, all this what ifs and all this stuff. And I said, okay, I'm going to take your hand because your ego is there to keep you safe. It is trying to love you, and it's trying to say, hey, we don't know what that future is going to look like. Why don't we just stay here? Okay. Daisy, you can't eat your feet. Okay. Well, she's mad. Okay. It's trying to keep you safe in your comfortability zone. That's why a lot of us get stuck in lives that are not where we want to be, or financial brackets, or our manifestations aren't coming in, because the ego's like, we don't, even if you have those things and it's wonderful, We don't know what type of person we'll be. There's an unknown variable. Okay, even though it's good. Okay, I don't know how to handle that as the ego, right? Because you're really shifting identities. You're asking your ego to become a completely different person. Because that's what you do when you align with your ideal reality, is you actually become a different person, a whole different consciousness form, a whole different emotional state difference. You clear trauma, you clear anxiety and depression, all that stuff. You're literally like a physiology, spiritually, a whole different person. Okay, and that's scary if you have abandonment and trust wounds from childhood too, because stability equals safety. And so that's why a lot of people are having a difficult time quantum shifting and bringing in their manifestations because of abandonment and trust wounds from childhood. Because it's that's new is scary, even if it's a million times better on the other side. Okay, is where people get afraid of success or get blocked because of fears of success. Okay, so anyway, I wake up with a bunch of fear and anxiety, and I tell my ego, we're not going to do that. Why don't we go look at our future? You're going to come with me and we're going to go take a look-see. Okay. So I go in and we go into our future, and my higher self 5 years from now came forward, and I was like, oh, hey. Okay. And she was like, I want to show you something. And I said, okay. And we went to the bank, and I had $5 million in the bank. And then she showed me all the places that we traveled in 5 years. And she showed me speaking on stage. And she showed me the house that I brought in. She showed me and my son I'm about to cry right now, doing all the things that we want to be doing. And she was like, how does this feel? And I said, this feels amazing. I was like, this is the energy frequency that I'm choosing to be in. And I had to show my ego that we were safe. We were totally safe in that new reality. And it was amazing and great and wonderful. And then I snapped back, and then I came back outside of my Akasha field, in a waking world, right? Okay, now it gets deeper than that, okay? Gosh, I'd love to meet every version of you in every lifetime. Oh, that's so sweet, Nicole. Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you. And so I go throughout my day, and I am vibing high. I'm like, ain't nobody can tell me nothing. I've seen it. I saw it. Same thing when I was a kid. I knew I was going to be a psychologist, which, I'm a version of a psychologist now. I knew I was going to own a business. I knew I was going to help a ton of people. I knew I was going to be a millionaire. All those things happened. I brought in $1 million in my first business. Okay? It all came because I wasn't wishing, I was perceiving my future. And I said, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I just know that I am. Yesterday was no different. It's I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there, but I just know that I'm headed in that direction and it's going to happen. So last night, hold on a second. I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do right now to tap back into that energy this morning? Okay. Oh, thank you for the gifts. I said, what do I need to do to tap back into that energy? And I said, what would higher self me do? And higher self was like, you need to work out, dance workout. Okay, to get stress and anxiety, cortisol out of my body, because that stuff doesn't just go away. And I had kind of a kooky day yesterday. I had my air conditioner went out in my car. I had to go get it to the shop. Then I had to rush back home for a client session. And then I had to rush down and go get my car. And then I had to rush back and do an Instagram live. And it was just it was all great, but it was just you ever heard those days where you're just so frantic trying to get everything together. And so that created a lot of stress and anxiety in my body because of the frantic. Okay. And so she was like, go work out. So I went and did a 30-minute dance workout. And then I said, okay, what should I do now? And she was like, oh, you need to go stretch right? And so I was stretching and I was listening to affirmations, saying affirmations over myself. And then I was like, oh, you know what do I want to do now? I want to put on some music. Okay, so I put on some music on my television and I was like, I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down on the floor and just vibe. Okay, because I was feeling good. I had dopamine coming in, I had serotonin and my endorphins, like just feeling great. I said, this is the perfect time to get in my imagination because of how good I feel. Okay, so I'm laying on the floor and I was like, I'm going to envision me and my son in our dream home. Okay, I know what this thing looks like to the T, because I've been working on it for a long time. And so, Romeo, sorry, my dogs be chewing on their feet. Anyway, so I go to the backyard of this house, of my house, in my imagination, okay? And I'm walking around and I can feel the grass in my feet. Like I literally feel my feet in the grass. And I look over to the pool that I have in this house, and my dog, Mr. Pugs, hold on, he right here. This is Mr. Pugs, okay. He is running towards me. And I sit on the floor and I like grab him and I start crying my eyes out. Like I'm gonna try not to cry right now. I just start like in my imagination, like crying, and I actually started crying like on the floor doing this. And I was saying, we did it. I said, we did it. We're here. I told you I would. I'm gonna try not to cry. I said, I told you I would get you this house. I told you and Daisy and Molly, my other dogs, that I was gonna get you this big ass backyard that y'all could run around and just like be doing the most out here, being silly goofy. And we made it. Okay. Then I go in the house and I lay on the floor in my imagination, like I'm doing outside of me, listening to the same music and just like laying there for a minute and really like feeling like I'm in my house. And then all of a sudden outside of me with my eyes closed, I'm in the house. Like I can feel myself in there. I was like, you know what? Let's go upstairs into my bedroom. Okay, and it's got like all these like crystals and plants everywhere. It's just great. I go out to look out the window and I can see my son and his friends playing in the basketball court outside, because it also has a basketball court. And they're just having like a great time. And I start crying again. And I'm like, I did it. I got us all here. I made it happen. There is no, like, you could not tell me that I'm not there. Like I was there in my future timeline in my Akasha field. Okay, then I go to lay on my bed in my room and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom. Okay. I'm feeling it too. Yeah. Like it is real. It's not just imagination. It is real. So I go into the bathroom in my house. Is this huge big ass bathroom, okay? Like it's like granite everywhere, it's big walk-in shower, just like gorgeous, okay? This is where it gets like really intense, okay? In my current bathroom, okay, in real time, I have a picture of myself as a child on my bathroom mirror that I look at every single day. And I tell her, I said, I'm so proud of you for getting us here. We did it. Where I am right now, the person I am right now, I was like, we were very lost and confused and experienced a lot of trauma and just did not have a good time when we were younger. And I told her, you kept going despite that. And then you got us here. And I said, I'm so appreciative of you, right? So all of a sudden, like in my imagination, because I'm talking to her in the mirror, but I'm talking to her in my dream in my new home, because I also put that picture up, my higher self came in, who is me in the even further future, okay, like 10 years from now, came in, and she was like, I want to put a picture of you right now up there. This is me 5 years from now, or however long, okay? So me in my imagination that already has my dream home we put a picture of me in that version up there, and I started crying my eyes out. And that version of me 10 years from now was like, I'm so proud of you for keeping on going because you got us here. So I was actually the higher self 10 years from now, talking to me 5 years from now, talking to me now in this present day. And I could literally feel myself shift into the version I need to be in order to become that 5 year from me now. I completely quantum shifted into that version. The version of me that was me 2 days ago, that's not me anymore. Like, I completely shifted over, and I was like, oh, this is us now, because now I'm working towards 10 years from now me. And then she was like, I want to show you what that future looks like. And I was like, wow, I have never been able to imagine myself past 5 years from now, because that has been my mega manifestations that I'm bringing in, like stuff with my business, stuff with like that big ass dream home and like my dream car, like all that stuff that I'm working on, and like with my clients and like the programs and stuff that I'm doing, like that's as far as I've been able to perceive. Okay. And she was like, nah, we already have that stuff. So that's done. Let's go. Okay. And I was like, bet. So I went to an Elton John concert like 9 months ago. One, that was like life-changing. Okay. I felt like my soul was rejuvenated, and he was like speaking affirmations over everybody like at the end of the concert, and I was like, oh my God. Okay. My higher self chimed in while I was listening to him sing and speak these affirmations, and she was like, that's going to be you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, that's going to be you up on a stage like that with this many people. Y'all, there was like 10, 15,000 people at this concert. It was sold out huge. And I was like, I don't know about that because I don't sing, right? And she was like, no, you're going to be talking to people like this about the things that you teach about and the things that you help people with. Okay. And I was like, okay. Right? I didn't realize that higher self that was talking to me was the one that I was talking to last night. That was 10 years in the future, or however long. I say 10 years, but like time in the quantum realm, like that could be next year. I don't know. Okay. But just my human concept, ego mind was telling me 10 years. So she took me to me talking on stage in front of like 10,000 people. And I was like, where are we? And she said, this is a festival that you put together. It's an EDM festival, spiritual retreat, inclusivity. There's a safe space for like queer people or just people who are, you know, like on a spiritual awakening journey, so they can come and dance and have fun, but then also do yoga and like all this other stuff. She was like, you did this, you put this together. This is you were speaking and you were telling you're welcoming everybody. This is your thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that a few years ago, I had told the universe, I want to host festivals. Like I want to host EDM festivals. I want to host spiritual retreats. And like, that's kind of been ruminating in the background of my mind about hosting retreats. But I didn't realize like that is where I was headed. I was like, oh. I thought we were just going to be doing like 15, 20 people, like, you know, in different places. And she was like, no. She was like, you created this whole thing. Like a whole ass festival. Okay. And I was like, oh. And she was like, you also run a company, like for your spiritual company that you have, Daisy, that you have all these different healers and teachers and coaches and stuff that helped you put this together. She was like, you have a whole company. I was like, oh, okay. Let me change this music. Hold on a second. So I have not been able to perceive that far yet. And so that was just wild to me. I was like, wow. But that's because I constantly go into my imagination and bring those things to my reality, because I become a vibrational frequency match. I become the person that needs the next download, that needs the next inspired action step. Help, like, processing my emotions, reprogramming my subconscious, like all of this stuff works. I am a living, breathing embodiment of that, and so are my clients. And so when I tell you all this stuff works, it does. I have done the things I wanted to when I was a child, and now we're just like on to the next things, right? So imagination, demonstration, and surrender. Now there could be a part of me that was like, well, I don't know how am I going to do that? When is it going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. I don't need to know. I don't. I just take inspired action steps every day, and I try and embody the frequency and the identity of that version of me. When I got into that house, like my dream house, I became that person. I have been working towards that. I have been diligently working on my emotional state and healing my inner children and my subconscious and raising my vibration and frequency. And yesterday I became her. But that didn't happen overnight. It took me like consistently going in and going in and going in until I finally felt that vibration settle, and it's my new vibration. Like I'll go in and do like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, here and there. And like I hold that for 15 or 20 minutes, and then I become a little bit more like her over time until I actually become her. Like 4 or 5 years ago, before, like when I first started this business, I could see myself of who I am right now. And I took action steps and did these things every single day. And then I became her. And that's who I am now. If y'all could meet people that I knew like 10 years ago, or meet me 10 years ago, I am a completely different person. Completely. Hey, Sean. Hey. I am a completely different person. Like sometimes people are like, wow, you're so confident and you're so self-assured and like everything just works out for you and blah, blah. I'm like, that was not me 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I had the worst case of anxiety and depression and an eating disorder and body dysmorphia, and I hated myself, and I had zero confidence and self-esteem. I had obsessive thought disorder, limiting beliefs, just wreaking havoc. I like had so much pain in my body from all the stress and anxiety. Like I was living in like Doom City. Okay, so, and not to speak poorly over her, because that's just like what happened in life, but you were capable of these things too. It just takes a commitment in investing in yourself and investing in your spiritual health, mental health, physical health, emotional health. All of the 4. Okay, I've noticed a big difference in my anxiety already. Yeah, you can remove that stuff out of your body. You know what I mean? Like I healed all those things within myself and changed my whole entire reality. But I had to make that investment of, I know what I am capable of, and I will do everything in my power to get myself there. Everything. Like I will not let anything stop in my way. Okay. We are going to do a higher self embodiment exercise so you can personify your next higher self, because sometimes when we are wanting to make these huge reality shifts and become like a whole different person, have a whole different life, that's very overwhelming. Okay. Because we're like, wow, there's a lot of steps and I don't know like what I'm supposed to be doing. So I always recommend, let's personify you a year from now, because that's a lot more tangible for you to work on. It also sets yourself up for success, because like, let's say you want to make $1 million in a year, but we're not making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year yet, right? Why don't we work towards that? And then when you achieve that, now you're like, oh dang. And then you go to the next level and you're like, oh, I can make 100,000. I can make 200,000, hit it. And now we make another one. That's how I've raised my financial bracket over and over and over again. Because when I was trying to manifest $1 million a year, my subconscious is like, nah, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And I had to incrementally become the person to hold more amounts of money, right? Or become a business owner, right? To hold clients in a different capacity, right? Or process my emotions differently. Okay. But incrementally. So a year, who are you a year from now? So I'm going to help y'all figure that out. So, excuse me, I'm going to run to the restroom. So I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm going to pause live, but I will be right back and then we'll get into it. When I first got into Reiki, I didn't realize all the things it can help with. Girl, Reiki is where it is at. Okay, Reiki can get you straight. While I'm taking a bathroom break here, if y'all want to sign up for that EFT tapping challenge I was talking about, the chakra balancing challenge, it's free. It's an 8-day challenge. It's going to help you reprogram your subconscious, clear stuck and stagnant energy, and help create space for you to receive your manifestations. You can go to my profile and sign up, or you can go down here in the YouTube description and sign up there. Okay, I'll be right back. This morning, she emails a video with a letter explaining. It's a instructional video you get. Well, it's not an instructional video, but it's teaching you about the chakras and what EFT tapping is. And then we go through your Earth Star chakra all the way to your crown chakra. When is the Inner Child Healing Workshop? The Inner Child Healing Workshop, I'm going to send that out to everyone who signs up for it on July 24th or 27th. I can't remember, but the 24th or the 27th. It's going to be just like my money masterclass, and it's a pre-recorded video that I'm sending you with all the presentation, the slides, everything included. Okay, I'm going to join that one too. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If y'all on YouTube want to sign up for it too, it's in the description down here below. I'm going to teach you how to identify your core wounds, how to connect with your inner children through the Akasha field, and how to heal them so you can become the new higher self and create forward movement in your life. So that is like Akasha level inner child healing. I already joined the money mindset one too. Oh, great. Awesome. You should have received that in the, let me know if you got the email. Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about higher self personification. Okay. So when we are thinking about us just signed up for the chakra challenge, oh, yay. Let me know how you enjoy it and what shifts it creates for you. I'd love to hear, Nicole. Okay. Sorry, I was getting off track. So when we are thinking of ourselves a year from now, what emotions are they feeling? What thoughts are they having? What behavioral patterns are they exhibiting? What are they releasing? What are they not doing? Right? Like, I always like to give this example. I used to throw my clothes on the floor. Like, I was really bad at that. And I would just have piles of clothes everywhere. And one day I was like, you know what? My higher self would not do this. The version that I'm becoming would hang her clothes up. And so would I catch it every time? No. But when I started to throw my clothes on the floor, I'd be like, that's not what higher self would do. And I would hang it up. And now I hang my clothes up because I became that person by asking myself, what would my higher self do? The person that I want to be, right? I do that in every minute. Sometimes, y'all, I do not want to be working out. Okay. I do not. I want to lay on the couch and I want to be on TikTok. And my higher self will chime in and she'll be like, what are we doing here? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Higher self me would get up and work out because I run hot sometimes on stress and anxiety because running a business and taking care of my kid and my dogs is like, just I got a lot of stuff going on. And she's like, we work out at the level that you want to be at. Okay. And so I get up and I do it and I feel so much better. I make more money because my physical body is better. My mental clarity, like that version of me, the level that I want to be at, she works out. And I don't mean hardcore workout. I mean, she does 30-minute dance workouts every day and stretches and listens to affirmations and does journaling. Okay. Excuse me. Let me drink some water here. I also use the let me help my future me out. Yep. Like if you don't want to do the dishes, let me gift my higher self or my future self, let me gift my future self with doing this. And then you wake up the next day with a clean sink, and then you can think past you. Okay. Hey love, I went to my email. I didn't get them. Okay. Check your spam folder, Britt, because a lot of people were saying that and it was in their spam folder, but I'm going to resend it to you anyway, just in case. I'm going to make a note over here. Okay. Britt workshop. Okay. So what emotions are they feeling? What behavioral patterns are they exhibiting? What are they not doing? What beliefs are they holding about themselves? What are their goals? Like, we're not talking about goals 10 or 15 years from now. Like, that's great, and you do need to keep those in mind, because we need micro goals working towards our macro goals. But sometimes people have macro goals and they don't have micro goals. Or they have micro goals and they don't have macro goals, and you need both. You have to have a short-term and a long-term plan, and then that allows you to shift and adjust where you need to, and it keeps you motivated and focused, and it helps you feel successful because you're doing all these like action steps along the way and proving to yourself that you're capable. But like, why are we doing these things? Where is it getting us? What is the end goal? Right? So when I am working with clients, sometimes they're like stuck, and it's because there's an imbalance in the micro and the macro. Right? So we need to figure out what those things are, and they can shift and change. Like, my macro goals and micro goals have shift, and that's fine. But you gotta have, if you don't have a compass, you get lost. Okay. We need to figure out what we're doing. Hey Daphne, how are you doing? Okay. So we're going to do this interactive. Okay. Y'all can, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can put it in the comments. Okay. Because the more involved you get, the more real it becomes, and it sets in. Okay. You can take this with you. Okay. So I would ask, what are 3 emotions that higher self, or you a year from now, as your higher self feels? You can just share one here. What is an emotion that you are feeling a year from now? Share them in the comments. I would love to read them. And they're going to be different for everybody. But what is your emotion you are feeling a year from now? And when you do this on your own, do at least 3 of them, okay? Peace, love, confident, great. And if you pick safe and secure, I would ask yourself, what emotion is under safety and security? A lot of these emotions have emotions under them. Kind of like when you experience anger, there's fear there's sadness underneath anger. There's usually things under these emotions. Like, how would it make you feel to be confident or to feel confidence? Right? Like, I always ask yourself, like, how can I go deeper with this? Because then it makes it even more amplified. Okay. We're doing a manifestation chat, Daphne. Calm, not anxious. Okay. Calm. Great. Joy, confidence, and persistent. Awesome. Okay. Yay. Okay. So what? Balanced. Perfect. See, these are great. Cause now that's something that we can work towards. If you have a clear, this is the emotion that I want to feel, or emotions I want to feel, all throughout your day when you feel those things, sit in it for a second and say, this is me as my higher self. This is the emotion and the frequency that I am feeling more and more of every single day. Now we're getting our body excited about it. Now our body is trying to pull us towards more experiences like that. Your subconscious is like, oh, you like this vibration, you like this frequency, let me give you more of it, let me pull more experiences to you. That's how your subconscious works in the quantum realm. Okay, you pay energy and attention to something and it'll bring you more of that. It's like if you see a yellow car and you're like, wow, that's a nice yellow car, and then you start seeing yellow cars everywhere. It's because your subconscious is like, oh, you're paying energy and attention to that, let me show you more of it. Okay, like, you can do that with anything, money, whatever. Okay, the universe works like an algorithm. What you place energy and attention on is what you get more of. Okay, so if we know what our higher self feels like, and we take a second throughout our day to be present and grateful and thankful for how we're already feeling, balanced, joyful, confident, persistent, now we're telling the universe, I want more of this. And I'm thankful that I'm already feeling it. Please bring me more of that. You're putting your order out. Okay. And eventually, I know we don't feel good all day long, because that's not all day long, but we have a range of emotions. Okay. But the more you embody these frequencies in the here and now, the stronger they get. And then that becomes your dominant vibration. And instead of feeling stressed and anxious and fearful, for the majority of your day, you feel amazing. I was about to curse, but the kids might be watching this. You feel freaking amazing. Like most of my days, I feel like a rock star. Like, am I above feeling sad and angry and frustrated and stuff? No, but that's not my dominant vibration anymore. Like, I'm not living in anxiety and depression land. And it's very easy for me to catch my limiting beliefs and shift, because I do these things on a daily basis, practice. Okay. Did this mindful intent at the beach this morning. Want more of this feeling and grateful. Yeah, exactly. And you can even bring that up as a memory in your mind. Like, if you're feeling not so great, like, think about being at the beach, like, pull it up in your imagination. It will shift the frequency in you. We're doing an energetic reset all day long. Okay. Okay. What are 3 personality traits that your higher self exhibits? You can just say one. What is a personality trait? Let me just say one here. What is a personality trait that your higher self a year from now has? And I will read them in the comments. Maybe that's being adventurous, funny, goofy, intelligent, wise, financially independent, whatever you want that to be. Focused and organized. I love that. Great. Focused and organized. Okay, for not obsessive, because that's not saying this necessarily, but we want to give an example of the positive reflection on that. So maybe going with the flow, or releasing control. Childlike, free, love that. That's great. Okay, like whimsy, magical. Mom, don't eat your feet. Okay. My dog's chewing on their feet back here. Financially stable. Okay, great. I would even take that to another level. I would be financially free. Financially abundant. Okay. So, chillaxed. Great. Love that. Chillaxed. Okay. What are 3 beliefs that your higher self holds of themselves? Or you can just share one here or in the comments on YouTube. What is a belief that you believe about yourself, or that you know about yourself? Like, I am confident, I am creative, I am inspired, I'm a CEO boss babe, I am a 6-figure earner, I, have or experience magic and laughter every single day. Like, what is that for you? I'm a very organized person. I am a talented creative. Love that. Great. Or I exude confident energy. I believe in myself. Like any of those that you want to share. Because now, sorry, I've been talking. I've been on here for like an hour and a half. So now that's something that we can work towards. Okay, no imposter syndrome. So instead of saying no imposter syndrome, what do you want that to be? I wholeheartedly believe in myself. I believe in my capabilities. Or I am debt free. I would even say, like, I am financially free. Self-confidence. Love that. I'm a master manifester. Great. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to clear my throat. I'm going to pause this for just a second because I don't want to gross y'all out. So give me like 2 seconds. I am confident in my art. Love it. So now we're going to do like tangible goals to work on. Okay, so what do we want to be making a month? If you're not comfortable sharing that in the chat, you don't have to, or in the comments, like that's absolutely fine. That can be a rhetorical question for these that we're about to get into, but if you want to, that's fine. What do we want to be making a month? What do we want to be making a year from now? Like every month or just a year from now total, right? It needs to be something that is believable for our subconscious, but pushes us outside of our comfort zone, because otherwise you're not going to grow. And not capping ourselves either. 5K, that's great. 5K a month, awesome. 10K a month, 20K a month, whatever that is for you, okay? But when we jump to I'm going to be a millionaire a year from now, and we're still working on our money mindset and healing those things, sometimes your subconscious is like, that's way outside of where we're at right now. Okay, so let's pick something that is tangible for you, because once you start manifesting, like when I first started manifesting like $4,000 months, $5,000 months, $8,000 months, like going from 2,000, that like I was like, I can do this. Like sometimes you got to incrementally open up your wealth container so you can prove to yourself, because jumping straight to like $1 billion, okay, like that's a lot sometimes for people's like subconscious to be able to get you there. But once you prove to yourself that you can be making $5,000 a month, or 10 or 15 or 20, however much, that's your new energetic minimum. You know what I mean? Like you can never go back to a place where you're like, I don't think that I can do that. Like when I first started doing that wealth container and I doubled my income from 2 to 4K, I was like, oh, I can do this, right? And then I did 6 and 8 and kept raising it. Okay. 5K, a year from now, 100K, great. 50K, great. 3 to 5K per month. Awesome. 10K a month, 10K a month, open to more. Love that. Always say open to more. Always say open to more. Because if you're saying, if I could just make $50,000 a year, then your energy field is not open to receive more. The universe is like, or your subconscious too is like, okay, well, you said 50K. Okay. So maybe you have 100K out here that's trying to come to you, but you told yourself 50K is it. Okay, so we need to be open to more, like Justin said here. So that's great. Okay, and hello, hey. Okay, so this is a tangible thing. So this is where the action steps start coming in. Okay, what action steps can I take to get me there? Can I watch YouTube videos about money mindset? Can I take Sage's money masterclass? Okay. Can I be watching people who are in that financial bracket and hearing the words that they're saying and the steps that got them there? Can I take, or can I read books on how to heal money wounds or my limiting beliefs? Can I be listening to money mindset and wealth mindset affirmations while I sleep? Can I be only watching positive things about financial freedom? You know what I mean? Like now we have tangible goal to work on, and we ask ourselves every day, what can I do to make a little bit more forward movement here? Can I go on YouTube and look at money manifesting affirmation videos and then go in the comments and see where all these people are manifesting money? I do that. I go on YouTube, like the affirmations that I listen to at nighttime for wealth and money mindset. If you go in the comments, there are hundreds of people that are like, wow, I listened to this and I manifested $1,000 this week. Wow, I received an inheritance after listening to this. Wow, I found $100 on the ground. Wow, I found, whatever. There's like hundreds of people. Okay? And that is telling your subconscious, if it can be them, it can be me too. And then all of a sudden it is you. Okay? So pro tip, do that. Okay. That's a good mantra for life in general. Open for more. Yeah. I am open and for more in all areas of life. Okay. So what is a health goal that we have? What is you a year from now experiencing or doing? Like maybe you want to become a runner. Maybe you want to learn maybe you want to learn Reiki to heal your chakras. Maybe you want to go on more hikes. Maybe you want to eat better. Love that. Okay. Maybe you want to do more stretching. Maybe we want to be more flexible. Maybe we want to heal something inside of us. Like maybe we have hypertension and we want to like heal hypertension. Okay. Okay. Oh, your optimal weight and running 1 mile and doing yoga daily. I love that. Okay. Those are great. Do grounding and earthing daily. Beautiful. You hit it in the nail. Go hikes with ease. Yeah. Daily yoga practice. Healthy gut. Great. Healthy stomach. Okay. So these are tangible goals that we can work. And if you don't hit these goals in a year, who cares? You're making forward movement. Okay. Every day making forward movement. Sometimes you hit these goals before a year's up. Okay. Because you are making forward movement and it starts snowballing and gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more you do it. Okay. And you start becoming the person a lot quicker than you think you might. Okay. So with all of these, what do we need to do for action steps? Do we need to go on longer walks to get our stamina up? Do we need to create time in our schedule, like in our calendar? Do we need to be accountable? Do we need to eat a salad more a week? Okay. You don't have to jump from barely walking to becoming a runner in a year. Okay. What can you do today? Okay. Just start with today. Like when I stopped working out for a hot minute, I was not taking care of myself. Like a couple of years ago, I was really good about it, then just stopped because I was going through like this real bad depression phase, right? This is before. And hold on a second. And I was like, wow, I am so out of shape and I cannot do a workout. I was like, you know what I can do though? I can do a 15-minute dance workout a couple times a week. I can commit to that. And I can stretch for 5 minutes. And I did that consistently, not every day, just several times a week. And then I got myself back into it. Okay. And then all of a sudden now I can do 45-minute workouts, and now I can do 30-minute stretches, and now I can do cardio. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to jump from a 0 to 100. Okay. Because we have that overarching goal of where we want to be a year from now. And you just ask yourself, what can I do today? Right. Because little bitty action steps like that really start to snowball. Where is the link to your money masterclass? It is in if you go to the top of my page here on TikTok and click, it'll take you there. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's down here in the description. Or the show notes, if people call them show notes. Okay. Okay. So, health goal. So what is a spiritual goal that we have? Do we want to pick up a new modality? Do we want to connect more to our inner children, connect more to our higher self? Do we want to read more books that help our mind? Do we want to read a certain number of books? Do we want to listen to more podcasts? Do we want to open your own spiritual business or become an energy healer or a coach? Like, what is that for you in spirituality? Do you want to get better at meditation? I want to get paid for my sound healing. Great. That's awesome. Okay. So that could be a year goal for you. I want to get paid for my sound healing. And then we ask ourselves, what action steps can I take today to further me down that? I didn't build a successful doggy daycare or spiritual business overnight. Okay. That took 1 billion steps for each one of them. And still, like, I don't have the doggy daycare anymore. I sold it. But the one I have now in my business, like, I got to take steps every single day for movement. Every single day. Like, I am never not taking steps. Okay? You got to take steps every day. And maybe in different areas. You don't have to take steps in every single thing, but pick one of these and be like, okay, what can I do today for my health? What can I do for my finances? What can I do for my spirituality? What can I do for my social life? What can I do for my traveling, my travel goal? You know what I mean? Like, this is called the wheel of life. It's a psychology tool, and what you do is you break your life into different sections, and then you create action steps under each one of those and break it down as much as you possibly can, and then take action steps every day towards something. Because when you make forward movement in one area of your life, it affects all the other ones. Even if you don't see how that's directly correlated, they're all correlated to one another, because you are healing and growing and evolving as a human being, as a multidimensional being. Forward movement is forward movement. It doesn't matter in what area. Okay? It affects everything. It makes you more confident and self-assured and accountable, or more successful in all areas together. I want to learn other spiritual modalities. Great. I would make that even more specific in like what spiritual modality, because when we have like open-ended goals, sometimes it's not tangible enough. So like, let's say that you want to become more knowledgeable. Okay, how many more books are we going to read this year? How many more hikes are we going to go on? Or how many hikes are we going to go on a month? Like, make it as tangible as possible. How many clients am I going to sign per month? Right? Like, as tangible as how many more salads am I going to eat every week? Open up my business for healing trauma responses. Great. So if you are just now opening up to your business, maybe we say like, I want to get 5 clients in a year, but I'm open to more. And like that's your goal for the year. Or more than that, like wherever you're sitting. Successful full-time spiritual energy healing business. Love that. Okay. So like, how many clients do we want? Or like, what do we want to be offering by the end of the year? Or do we want to have like a mentorship program put together and like laid out? You know what I mean? Like what underneath that do we want to do? Mediumship modality. Great. So maybe that's, offering sessions for people. How many sessions do you want to do? Okay. So what is a family goal? Like, do we want to spend more time with our kids? Do we want to be working on, moving into a new home? Do we want to get a new car for transportation for all of us? Like, do we want to have more family game nights? Do we want to have a better relationship with our mom? Just whatever that is, family goal. Okay. And family doesn't always mean your biological family. Family can be chosen family too. I want to make sure and say that. Like, not everybody has the best relationship ties. Like, what does family mean to you? Right? Or maybe family means like a better relationship with your inner children. They're part of your family. Maybe helping them heal through something. Like, maybe we're experiencing people pleasing, and like this year we're going to help our inner child release that. They're part of your family. Or your dogs, or your cats, or your fish, or your turtles. And they're part of your family. Or maybe you want to get a dog. Europe with my family, kids, grandkids. Great. So that's something you can take action steps on. You can be like, okay, well, I'm going to plan for it. I'm going to plan for that trip. I'm going to plan all the different places we'll go, the hotel, the excursions, all that stuff. More family camping trips. Great. So where are we going? Pick one place. Where are we going this year? Or where are 3 places that we're going this year? Make it tangible. Be at peace with all of my family members. Great. So I would dig in even further there and be like, what do I need to do to be at peace with my family members? Like, is that something that I need to do on my end as far as helping my own communication and learning how to hold boundaries? You know what I mean? Like, what's underneath that? How are we going to do that? That's where the action steps come in, the micro steps. Setting healthy boundaries. Great. We can watch videos about how to hold boundaries. Hold space. Repair my relationship with my kids and my dog. Great. So what can you do on your end on a daily action base to do that? How can you make those internal shifts or help with your communication? I need to move into my own home and have my son move closer to me. Okay, awesome. With move into your own home, yeah. So there's a lot of action steps. Like, you don't have to necessarily have the home yet. It's like, what action steps are we taking to get us there or closer to there? Even if it's like, I'll save, $20 a month. Okay, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you do steps like that, you're meeting the universe halfway, and you're like, I'm doing what I can. I'm working on my mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, physical health. Like, I'm doing what I can from where I'm at right now. That's literally how I have created my life, from a place of like very much lack and hurting and trauma, and saying, I don't know how to do it, but I will do whatever I can every single day to get myself closer to that person and closer to that life. And that's how I shifted. Okay. So what is a social goal? It makes you feel better accomplishing things, even small stuff. Yeah, you feel very accomplished, and you feel very accountable, and you feel very successful, and you feel very capable, because it's like those action steps take, what am I trying to say? Those action steps like are small teaching moments for yourself and your subconscious all along the way. I love that. Save something to show action steps to get that goal. Yeah, just even if, like, just a little bit, right? And then continuing to work on what you can work on. Like, let's say that you don't, quote unquote, have that money, but you're capable of it because you have that desire. There's a version of you out there that has it. Well, then what would she be doing? Would she be working on her subconscious mindset reprogramming, healing her inner children, reading books to help her mindset, watching YouTube videos of people that are in that reality and listening to them? Like, do what you can with where you're at. And then you shift into like the next version of you that's closer to that reality. Okay, so what is a social goal? Do we want to be involved in our community more? Do we want to have more soul-aligned friends? Do we want to start something in our community? You know what I mean? Like, what do we want to be doing in our social life and with our friends? I'm going to pause so everybody can share if they would like to. What are you doing, Mr. Box? And then we've got one more that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to do it, and then I'm going to give you all a tangible activity to take with you as well, so you can kickstart this. Oh, thank you all for liking the live. Thank you. Building up my confidence to do platform readings and building relationships with others. I love that. That's great. Okay, good. Okay. So I would say, like, how many readings do we want to try and do in a year? How many relationships, or like how many connections do we want to make within the year? Like, maybe we want to meet 50 new people through our business or life. Maybe we want to have like 3 new soul-aligned tribe members in our local area. Or maybe we want to meet, like 4 or 5 people online who like we really resonate with, and maybe meet one day in real life. Volunteer my time to my community, the homeless. I always want to do that. Great. Giving back is like a wonderful way to be in a state of abundance and gratitude. And so maybe the action steps that you take is figuring out where you're going to do that, or doing research about how you can help and where you can help, right? Okay, so this is our last one for the activity. This is a travel goal. Where do we want to travel in a year? Where do we want to go? Do we want to go to Wisconsin? Do we want to go to, where is that? Bali, great, Europe. So much to do in a year. Yeah, don't let it overwhelm you too. Like, we don't need to let it overwhelm us. We just need to have like a clear goal, and then just take little inspired action steps. Like, I'm telling you, if you do this like in all areas of your life, like how can I make a little bit more forward movement? Your whole entire life will shift, and then it just becomes your life. Like, it sounds difficult if you're starting from a place of like not making forward movement, like a lot of these places, but once you do it everything in your life starts making forward movement in much bigger ways. And then all of a sudden, like, these things just become very, like, natural. Like, there was a time where I wasn't listening to affirmations, not journaling, not working out, not drinking water, not eating healthy, you know, not having good self-confidence and self-esteem and, like, all this stuff. And then I just worked on it a little bit, and now I'm just that person that does all those things and sees the benefits from them. But, like, it was not easy in the beginning. Okay? Like, in the beginning, I had to force myself to do these things. But now it's just like, I just do them. Like, last night, I was going to watch TV, which is fine if you want to do that. But I was like, you know what? Actually, I would rather, like, work out, and I would rather stretch, and I would rather listen to affirmations and then listen to music and then lay down and meditate. That feels better to me. And then I had that profound experience with my higher self. And I'm not above watching TV. I love doing that. Okay. but I'm a different person now, and I'm listening to my intuition and my inner guidance, and I could hear my higher self calling me. Right. But I wasn't that person in the past. Okay. I'd like to go to India to see the Taj Mahal. Solo camping trip. Love it. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do something tangible. So maybe the action steps that you take is planning it out. Like I did, to get those free tickets. Or you get your passport. Or maybe that's the first step you take, is like getting a passport this year. Maybe that is you watching YouTube videos about where you want to go. Like I've done that with like Hawaii and Australia. Like I watch videos about it to get me in that energetic frequency and to like pull it towards me. Right? Because Australia is a whole thing and getting there. So I'm like, what can I do now that will help me get a little bit closer to that? Because there's a whole thing going like over there. Okay. So you can do this. Look up the Wheel of Life. Where did you get free tickets to? Well, I was going to Wisconsin. Well, I'm going to Wisconsin this month, and somebody offered me to use their plane miles. So I got tickets to Wisconsin. Okay. All right. So our tangible goal. Look up the Wheel of Life, and it has all the different things split up, all the different areas. And then you can just go through that and set your year goals from now. Tangible goals that you can be working on. Okay. And if you don't hit them, whatever, you're making forward movement and becoming a new person. And you might shock yourself with how quick that you can bring these things in when you focus on them and you take action steps every day. And you get in your imagination like we talked about and envision yourself there and emotionally get yourself there, right? Because time does not work the same in the quantum realm. Like timeline shifting like that, like how I manifest that stuff in like 24 hours, like it, I thought it was going to take a long time from like my ego. Like it does not work the same. Okay. It was an experience. I took it as a lesson, got out of the house. I don't think that I read your thing up here. Might have missed that. Okay. So this is what we're going to do for our activity. Let me find my page. Okay. So I am not huge on doing the same rituals every day, especially if you're neurospicy, because it's very difficult for us to stay on rituals because we run out of dopamine. And so I always teach in my manifesting classes or with my clients, don't do that. Like do whatever you want to do every day. Just do something every day. It doesn't matter what ritual you're doing or methodology or whatever, just do something every day, because that is an overarching ritual. Like some days I'll be doing journaling, some days I'll do EFT tapping, some days I am listening to affirmations, some days whatever. Two of the things that I do recommend doing every day, if you can stick to them, is listening to affirmations at bedtime, because affirmations are most effective right before you fall asleep, because your subconscious is wide open. It's like a sponge. And your subconscious works like a computer, okay? It's constantly running in the background. Constantly running. It's always trying to solve, quote unquote, problems for you and find solutions. So if you are running thoughts from your subconscious of, I wish it could be me. I'm always living in lack and scarcity, anxious, fearful, all that stuff. Your subconscious will bring you more of that because it's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. So you have to insert new programming in there. And is that your fault that stuff is there? No, because we get programmed as children, and bad advice that we hear from our parents, teachers, and guardians because they experienced generational trauma. They were taught those things. You're constantly blasted with those things in social media. Like I made a video the other day about how children's movies running rampant with saying that rich people are evil. That's true for some, but not all of them. There are people that are like doing amazing things out here in the collective. But they push that down our throats because fear makes money. And like, of course they want you to not be wealthy. Of course they want you to think that you'll turn into an evil person, right? Like that's an agenda. Okay. And they try and get you very young with that stuff. Okay. When you are susceptible. Anyway, that's a whole nother chat, but you have to insert new programming. So when you listen to affirmations at bedtime, whether that's for confidence, money mindset, self-worth, passing your exams, like whatever that is, what that is doing is it's going into your subconscious, and then during the day, it's easier for you to catch the beliefs. They start to loosen their grip. Because that's how affirmations work. You repeat them over and over again. So there's tons of us that have all these limiting beliefs that we have been running for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. So they got real strong. That is your dominant thought process. And the more you think about them, the stronger they get. You have to override them as the higher self and insert new programming. And that takes time. I was not always able to catch my thoughts like that. Like I was my thoughts. And then when I realized like, oh, I'm not my thoughts because I can observe them. Molly, the sheer fact that I can say, oh, I'm not aligned with that, or that is not resonant for me, that's not true for me, means that I am not my thoughts. That is my mind. That is my ego. And when I detach from them, now I'm the higher self, the multidimensional being, say, no. Right now I can do that, but that took time. And one of the things that helped me do that was affirmations at bedtime. I still do that. I still do that almost every single night, listening to affirmations, because it has made it so much easier to be like, nope, not doing that. And I'm actually going to override that with a new affirmation. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am confident. I am a leader. I believe in myself. Like I just really override that programming, because it's not me. That's not me at a core, right? That's not me as the multidimensional being. That's not me as source. That's not me as the creator. Those are things that Sage in this incarnation experienced from childhood and from programming, from social media and all these other things, and people that have their own trauma projections and whatever. Okay. So listening to affirmations, and then this is the other thing that we're going to do. Okay. I really recommend you starting your day out like this every single day. Okay. It's called an affirmation rampage. You might have heard that from Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks. So this is going to help you start your day out as the person a year from now that you are becoming. It is going to help you feel that you are them and bring those emotions. I did that this morning. I went and sat outside with the birds chirping, did this activity, started crying my eyes out, and I felt like I am that person that has all of these things. I was crying because I was so grateful and thankful that I have them. Not like I want to. I felt that I have them. And again, that is how I've manifested everything in my life, is doing this over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden I am that person. Okay. But you have to get your body feeling those frequencies, right? And the more you do it, now all of a sudden it's just you. Okay, so we're going to take all of those goals, those year goals, health, family, finances, travel, romantic, social, all of those things. So you got to do this beforehand. Okay. Okay. You got to, this is some preparatory work, and we're going to get all those goals. And I want you to get out a sheet of paper, and then I want you to write all of them as if they've already happened. Like for me, I wrote all the places that I have traveled to, all the money that I'm making, all of my social medias, and how many like community members that I have. I wrote down that I'm getting paid for speech. Hold on one second. I gotta blip somebody out of here. Okay. They're doing the most. Okay, anyway, I'm getting paid to do speaking engagements. This is how many clients I'm getting every month, how many clients I'm getting every year, the new car that I have, the dream home that I moved into, like all of those year goals. I say, I am so excited that I have, I am so excited that I experienced, I am so excited that I went to, like, and just wrote, all right, everything that has already happened. And then I want you to read it back to yourself. And I want you to get more excited than you have ever been in your entire life. I want you to be like, I am so excited that I made $100,000 this year. I am so excited that I went to Bali. That was such a great time. I am so excited that I am the most confident version of myself. I am so excited that I am receiving 10 new clients every month, right? And just like really get freaking excited. Because what that is doing, it is teaching your body, one, it's safe to receive these new manifestations. It feels exciting. It feels good in your body. You are speaking over yourself as if they are already done. You will feel this huge energetic shift within yourself, and you will feel so grateful and thankful that these things have happened. And the more you do it, then you become it. So you're writing out your manifestations as it's done. Yes, I am so excited. I have blank. I experienced blank. I am so thankful I experienced blank. Take those year goals and write them as though they are already done. It's called scripting, but you're also attaching an emotion to it, and you're also attaching imagination to it, and you're also attaching subconscious mindset reprogramming to it. Like you're taking all these different modalities and pulling that reality closer to you. On top of that, when you are embodying this, you start to get downloads and action steps to take, because now you are feeling what it feels like to be said person. So you naturally get the downloads and the intuitive nudges and the signs and the synchronicities, because you're on the path to permanently becoming that person. Wow, makes sense. Scripting as you're the author. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'll say even like you can envision that you're a reporter, like somebody outside of yourself, and you're writing an article about you. Like, hi, my name is Sarah. My name is Sage, but like, if it's the first time y'all meeting me. But hi, I'm Sarah, or I'm Travis, and I'm working at the Daily Bugle and for my Spider-Man people, and I am writing a life piece about Sage Gwendolyn and all the things that she manifested in her life and how everything was always working out for her, and then just list all the things that I've done. Yes, I thank you for telling me that. Okay. Yes, they're out. Okay. But when you start your day like this, like on that vibrational frequency, and you're just getting super freaking hyped, and you're reading all these back to yourself, and you're like envisioning, imagining yourself there, and you're so grateful and thankful, it shifts your whole entire day. We are starting out with dopamine and serotonin and our endorphins, okay? Now we're making different decisions. When you are making decisions from fear, lack, and anxiety, it's not gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna sometimes pull you backwards. But when you start your day out in the vibration and frequency that you wanna be in, it shifts everything in the rest of your day. And you can do this multiple times a day. You feeling yucky and icky and low vibration and just not feeling great, pull this out and read it back to yourself. Do it for 2 minutes. I do it and read it back for 2 minutes. Like I write everything out, and then for 2 minutes, I just say everything over and over again to myself. And then when I don't feel great, 2 minutes and reset the energy. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then when my ego and my self-limiting beliefs start popping up, I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I already read you this morning. Like, what are you talking about? We already have those things. We're already that person. You are trying to pull me back into an old life that is not even real anymore. Okay? It's like opening other vibrational timelines. Thank you for making it click for me. Yes. You are finding when you are in your imagination in the quantum realm, you are finding the energetic coordinates to the version of yourself that already has those things. And so what you're literally doing is stepping into their energy field and into their consciousness and slowly becoming them. The more that you do that, you know how like when you have like a friend and you're like really close to them, and then all of a sudden like you start kind of like taking on their mannerisms and like the way that they speak and like certain things that they say. It's the same thing. Like, you know how people like spend a lot of time together and they become very alike. It's the same concept. You just slowly keep building that vibration and frequency, and then all of a sudden you permanently shift into them. Now you got to do all this other stuff: subconscious mindset reprogramming, healing your inner children, working on processing your emotions, because your emotions are the fuel for your manifestations. So like, this isn't the only thing that's going to get you there, but it will launch you. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, so I don't want to make it sound like this is a miracle cure-all. Okay, because all the other things that we talked about, you also have to do those things. Sometimes people, when they're teaching manifesting, they're like, oh, well, you can just like think your way there, or like feel your way there. That depends on where you're at on your journey. Like, that's why people are like not getting their manifestations, because they don't have all the keys. Okay. Inner child healing, the wounds from childhood that created the lack in the first place, regulating their central nervous system, teaching your body it is safe to receive. Some people have like real deep hyper independence wounds and are not in receiving mode, and the universe is trying to take care of them, and they're like, no. Okay. You also have to, like I said, process your emotions, reprogram your subconscious, like take care of your physical body. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. Okay? But we can work on them incrementally. And then when you start making forward movement in all these little different areas, now we really start changing our life. Hyper-independence. Yeah, hyper-independence is a big one, especially with like overachievers. Like, that is definitely one that I've had to heal, because I was like stuck at this certain financial bracket in my business and I couldn't bust through it. And my higher self and guides came in and they're like, you can't even accept compliments from people, or people try and love and support you, and you just, and they're like, what do you think that's doing to your money? Like, if your receiving channels are closed in one area of your life, they're closed in all areas of your life. And I didn't make that correlation. I didn't understand that when I was at that consciousness level. Like, those things are correlated. Okay? If we cannot take compliments and accept people helping us, right? People that really love us. Like, we don't need to take help from everybody, because some people have agendas and stuff. But if you have somebody that really loves you through and through, and they want to support you and show you love and give you compliments or give you gifts, just like with me with the plane tickets. Okay? If I had told the universe, like, no, I said I'm going to manifest it myself, and so that's what I'm going to do. They sent me that person to give me those tickets. Like, that's how I was receiving it. Right? But my old hyper independence wounds in the past, if that had been me like 2 years ago, I'd be like, no, I'm just going to do it myself. Because I would not allow other people or the universe to take care of me. But now when this happened, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. That would be great. Thank you. What a blessing. Yes. And then when I did that, now I'm even more open to receiving like other things for that vacation. You know what I mean? Okay. So aligning with them now, yes, so aligning them to your now timeline, different version of self, then it will calibrate. Yes. When you're doing activities like this, is it going to shift you right away? Maybe. Okay, sometimes I've had like very instantaneous like consciousness, but depending on where you're at on your journey. But what it does is it incrementally shifts you into them, and you get new inspired action steps that you wouldn't have got because you were a different person, because you were the person in lack over here in scarcity. But when you slowly pull that new person in, now you're slowly raising your consciousness, and then you become the consciousness of them, and you become the person that like clears out the anxiety and clears out the limiting beliefs, like slowly over time. And now all of a sudden you just shift. And sometimes it happens a lot quicker than you think. Yeah, opportunities show up. Yeah. You pull in what your resonant frequency match for. So like if you are lack, fear, anxiety, you're not going to get the same opportunities as somebody over here that's working on and healing these things and in a different consciousness, because you literally can't see them, and they don't even show up for you because those are the lenses that you're looking through. But over here, it's like all this magical, whimsical stuff happens because you don't have all those filter lenses over here. One, my inspired action steps was taking pottery class. I didn't know where it'll take me, but I love it. Yeah, great. You never know when things are going to take you either. Like that's where the intuitive nudges, like I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't listen to my intuition and go a whole bunch of different routes that I didn't know why I was going down them. But I was just like, oh, well, this feels right for right now. And then it led me to where I was supposed to go. Because sometimes your path doesn't always look like this. Sometimes your path is like all over here, okay? Because if you're trying to go linearly, that might take you a long time. But that's what those intuitive nudges are in your higher self and your guides, or future you, quantum twin you, is like, well, if you just go over here, even though it doesn't make sense, it will shave off a lot of time. And then you can get over here, okay, a lot quicker. But you can't see that because you're looking through your ego and like your logical and analytical mind. But your soul contract might be like, okay, well, if you go do this, then we'll be over here immediately. Okay, that's where you have to listen to your intuition, your higher self, and your guides, because they can see what you can't see. They can see the whole thing while you're in the thing. Like when I'm talking to people about their soul contracts, I'm like, sometimes you're the person that's in the soul contract and you can only see a couple steps ahead of you, but that's where you learn how to become the higher self observer, so you can actually see more of the map, right? How do you know for sure it's a nudge if you feel good about it instead of feeling fear? Yeah, fear is constricted. Like fear is you feeling like this, and then expansiveness is intuition. Like even if you don't know where it's going to lead you, it's like curiosity. It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like maybe that is something that I could explore. Maybe that is a direction that I could head in. The other one is constriction. Like, oh, that doesn't feel good in my body, right? And that's a little bit different than anxiety. Like anxiety, this really helped me with anxiety, okay? Anxiety and excitement are two sides of the same coin. It's like when you're going up a roller coaster and you're like, oh, but then you're excited, right? Fear is a completely different thing. Fear is like safety and security being was a challenge, if you will. Right, and that's why the body feels the force movement and just surrendering, allowing more freedom. Yeah, fear is a completely different than anxiety, right? And if you think of anxiety in terms of like, am I anxious or I'm excited and just don't know how it's going to happen or what it's going to look like? You know what I mean? But it still feels expansive and like, oh, this is a place for me to grow. You know what I mean? Okay. So, what was everybody's biggest takeaway today? I would love to hear in the comments, or if you want to leave them in the comments down here on YouTube. Also, if you want to sign up for my free EFT tapping challenge, the one that's going to help you balance your chakras and reprogram your subconscious. It's free. You can sign up in the top of my page, or you can sign up down here in the show notes, the description. Or if you want to work one-on-one, if you're ready to kick your butt in gear to get these manifestations and you want me to help you figure out how to get there, I will do that with you. I have a one-on-one sessions. I have a mentorship program. If you want somebody to help you through your transformation journey for 3 months, I do that as well. And you can find all the information up in the top of my page or down here in the description show notes below. I will help you heal your inner children, your subconscious mind, your chakras, your Akashic records, and help you figure out your short and long-term goals and help you shift into that new identity. Thank you so much, love. Oh, you're welcome. See, that was excitement for me. Yes. I'm so excited for everybody. Okay. Britt, I will email you the money manifestation masterclass after here. Biggest takeaway, your dream house experience. Oh, yay. I want to say too, with that dream house experience, that's not like I had to build up to that. That's what I mean with like, we need to be doing imagination things, like listening to children's meditations, watching fun and magical, whimsical movies, looking at, pictures on Instagram that are fun, magical, and whimsical. Like, your imagination is a muscle that you have to build. So like for me to be able to get to that point with me in my dream house yesterday, and then connecting with 10-year out me, like that took me doing consistent work on my imagination all the time. And then I could envision way far out in the future. Okay, everybody, well, I'm going to hop off now. I hope everybody has a very magical day. Always feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the things that I was talking about. You can follow me on Instagram. It's soulharmonymagic. I do a whole bunch of fun things in my stories there. I also have a YouTube channel. That's where the replay of this is going to be. And I do a lot of other long form content there. I want to say thank you. I'm glad I came in here from you, gave me a nudge. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. Oh, Australia. Yay. That's a good thing for me because I am planning on going to Australia. Thanks, Sage. You're awesome. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Thank you, friend. Have an amazing day. Have a beautiful day, friend. Y'all are so sweet. Okay. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you later. Okay. Bye.